Okay, we are back now with the boys lacrosse coaches for Nottingham, Hamilton, and Steiner. And we have with us from left to right, Hamilton coach Armand Trotto, Nottingham coach Scott Dunscombe, and Steiner coach Bob Ziegler, another Ziegler at the table. And before we get into the teams themselves, I want to ask both of you guys, one of you's coached the Nottingham-Hamilton co-op team one year, one coached at the other. How great is it to have your own separate teams again? Nottingham and Hamilton were co-ops for the last 4 years, I think it was. 3 or 4 years? Yeah, because Kyle was a coach. Yeah. How great is it, and what happened? How did you get the interest back in the sport?
I'll start here. So first off, it's great that I don't have to take a bus down the road every day. So that's positive. No, I think it's really great that we get to have our own team again here at Hamilton West. I do believe that, for the past couple of years, it's been hard to get kids from either school because, in every other sport in Hamilton, these student athletes are playing against each other, and they're not coming together with other schools to play against each other. So the fact that now they can actually, have that school pride in their program and, get their friends involved, and be back home, I think, at least for Hamilton West, that's, the one thing that we have really been trying to, put out there.
Yeah. Scott, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, to reiterate a lot of the same things that he said, I do think the school pride plays a big role in it. I think that's what helps get interest out. And, I mean, I just think logistically as well, it was a burden. And I think that also separated kids. Kids didn't want to ride the bus over back and forth. They didn't know where to leave stuff, all those kinds of things. I just think that logistically, the school pride aspect of it, it just made more sense to separate. We were kind of throwing out some feelers towards the end of the year about who would want to return. And it seemed like, we would have enough. We knew it was going to be a challenge to recruit, and get people out there. But, once we got the go-ahead, we started our plans, and we both got enough to have a full program, and it's been really good so far.
Yeah, and see, I mean, they're not your teams, but I would think as a guy in the sport and born and raised in the Township, you got to be happy to see these guys back at two different teams again.
Totally, yeah. It's good to have the two separate teams over there at two other schools, and the interest level, it's good to see that return. And it really starts at the feeder program level, and hopefully that'll catch on, and we'll get more and more guys playing Hamilton, Nottingham, and Steiner lacrosse in the future.
Absolutely. So, Armand, let's start with Hamilton. Why don't you give me some of the, your top guys? Who were some of the guys you're looking for, to fulfill their potential and everything like that? How's it look this year?
Yeah, we actually have 23 athletes on the team this year.
Nice.
One person that I'm going to start out with is going to be John Seals. John Seals is a senior for us. John, I've known since a freshman when I came over here from Ewing. John is definitely stepping up into a leadership role for us. He is a midfielder for us, and he has been making a point to make sure that he's being vocal at practice, making sure that, our younger players are trying to pick up the game, helping us put our athletes into better position, and even at practice, like talking to them, hey, this is what happened to me when I was doing this, right? So try doing this instead. So he's giving that, wisdom that he has had and that he's learned for the past 4 years, to our new players. We have probably about, 13 guys that have never touched lacrosse sticks, at least here or on this team before. So his leadership is very valuable.
Okay, and who are some of the guys that have caught your eye?
So Lennox Gabriel is a returner for us. He is a junior. He is one of our attackmen. He actually last year broke out, had like about 12 goals on the season, about 8 assists. So we're looking to lean on him offensively a lot. We have a lot of just new guys. Our face-off guy, midfielder Evan Hamilton, soccer player here at Hamilton West. He's really picking up along the sport. This is his second year playing. Then we have Jackson Baylog, who is our starting goalie. Jackson, this is his first time ever playing lacrosse, came up to me, was like, Coach, hey, I just want to play goalie. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you.
All right, well, Jackson goes to my church, so, I'm rooting for him.
I'm rooting for him, too.
Yeah, you're probably rooting for him more than I am, actually.
Yeah.
But, all right, so new goalie, but how does he look so far in goal?
So I've actually only seen him in goal at least one time. He had to step away for the weekend when we had our scrimmage against Princeton. Over the weekend, we lost 7-0 with our third-string goalie playing. But things are progressing. We're still teaching the game. We're still, showing up every single day to practice. For example, like our purpose at practice today was doing everything with a purpose. We're really just trying to instill the culture of you come here to work, you're here to work hard, and you're here to learn.
Right. All right. Scott, tell us some of the guys that you're looking to do big things this year.
All right, so I got pretty lucky. Out of the 10 players who were returning from the team last year, about 7 of them or so were starters already, so I got lucky that I had some developed talent. But besides those 10 returners, same situation. Everybody else is brand new. So in those returners, the defense is going to be the strong point of our team this year for sure. We have 2 starting deep holes returning in Gabe Negron and Jackson Hughes. Gabe's a junior, Jackson's a senior. We have one of our star players is our goalie. He was a freshman last year. He had over 200 saves, so it was really impressive. So I'm excited to see him build. He's going to be the backbone of our defense. We have a good LSM returning, a junior, Dante Vasquez. I think he had about 8 or 9 goals last year as an LSM, so we're looking for him to be impactful on both sides of the ball. We have our team leading scorer from last year returning, August Cassidy. He's a sophomore this year, so he was a leading scorer as a freshman last year, so definitely looking for him to lead the team. We have Giovanni Diaz, an attackman, senior, returning, so he's going to help out a lot offensively on that end. And some other returners, Malachi Stewart's going to play defense for us a little bit. We have Michael Tandy, who's going to play defense again. So our defense, definitely strong side of the ball for us. A lot of guys returning, a lot of talent there. Offense, we have some guys to step in. Definitely some of the new guys are looking good so far, but it's going to be a developing process on that end of the field for sure.
I bet you if August is anything like he is in football, he brings a lot of energy to the field.
Yes, he does. Energy, intensity. He's been doing good for us so far, being a leader. We've been having him in the weight room twice a week. He's been a leader there. He's been working with a lot of the new guys. It's been good to see, passing the ball around no matter what, making sure everybody gets touches, working with everybody. So he's been doing a good job for us so far.
All right. Last but not least, Zig, we got you, Bob Ziegler. You're starting to get up there as one of the veteran coaches in Mercer County, aren't you?
9th year, I think.
Ninth
yeah,
year.
my 9th year.
Look
Hard to
at
believe.
you.
I still had hair when I started coaching.
Well,
Imagine that.
Well, you still got it down here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, lucky me.
You're half there. All right, Zig, you're coming off a 6-11 season. That's kind of unlike you guys, but you got some really good scorers coming back. Dylan Andruski and Zach Mercer both had over 50 goals last year.
Yeah, Meserole, unfortunately, is at PDS. So
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. He jumped over there for hockey. But we got Dylan back, who's a captain. Tanner Sweeney is going to move up to attack. He's another junior captain we have. And then the third attackman is going to either be Mercer Seidman, who's a freshman. He's going to push for time. And Mateo Mazriegos. So I think our strength will be at attack. At midfield, Matarak, who's another captain. He's coming back. He played a lot the last 2 seasons. We lost a lot of talent the last 2 years. We had really 2 good senior classes in a row. So Ari Kachuk will be our face-off guy. He'll be taking over with Peyton Breyer. And then we have a freshman who's looking to push for time, Tegan Flesh. He's an LSM. He's looked really good in the preseason. Danny Jimenez, Zach Seiler, Logan Postert, Valentino Rossi will kind of anchor that. And then Colin Doan's taking over at goalie. He's got big shoes to fill, filling in for Joey Marazzo, who set a lot of school records at goalie. So hopefully Colin kept step in and do a great job for us.
Yeah, kind of like wholesale changes for you this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last 2 years we've graduated, I think 12 and 9 seniors, so it's a big overturn. Yep.
Well, it's fun. You get to work with these kids now. You get to do a little more coaching maybe than you had to do in past years.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. And,
Cream will rise to the top, like the Macho Man said, right?
that's exactly right. Leave it to you, Zig, to give great quotes from mankind.
Pro wrestling. Yep.